face you make when you realize you were wrong this whole time, and the internal combustion engine is the only way to rule the wasteland. I think one thing that all these apocalypse movies don't seem to take into account is gas has a shelf life. Like, I don't know what the shelf life of gasoline is, but pretty much all the gasoline we have will be fucking worthless not too long after the apocalypse. I don't take this one too seriously. It feels like it's just trying to like do like a Mad Max thing with it. So I do think it's kind of weird how often they're obsessed with Greta Thunberg. I feel like she's really not as influential as they make her out to be. At least, I mean, I really almost never hear about her at all outside of right-wingers being pissed at her. That's like the main reason. That's the main thing. That's the main place I see her anymore. Tattoo model Amber Luke reveals what she looked like before all the ink and fillers. Better. She looked better. I love how they always think they're Sam Elliott, dude. I've met a lot of fucking right-wingers in my life. Very few of them struck me as like, ooh, that's a rugged sort of cowboy guy. That's a real Sam Elliott type of motherfucker right there. Oh yeah, dude. Tell you what, these tattoos look ridiculous. I mean, I'm looking at this chick, and she pretty much went from being like a normie chick to a crazy tattooed up and I don't even know. I mean, I don't know that I'm like necessarily in love with her aesthetic and shit, but like it's her aesthetic and it's clearly like different than what you typically see walking around and shit. So good for her for fucking forging her own path ahead and not just being like one of the flock. Sam Elliott is a lefty too. That's pretty funny. Is he really? I have no idea what Sam Elliott's actual politics are. I mean, in fairness, you don't necessarily have to be right-wing to think this. You could very well be right-wing and think that she looked better as your typical everyday fucking blonde chick than she does as some kind of crazy tattooed up like alt chick or whatever. But I think only a right-winger would fucking append Sam Elliott to it and make it be like, yeah, this is what's right in America right here. A lot of people have asked me, hey, where do you do your live streams? And the answer to that is that I do live streams called Abandon Hope every Sunday on the Pessimist Productions Patreon. That is linked down below. There is all sorts of other stuff on that Patreon as well. It is about $7 a month, and I think that we offer a pretty generous amount of content in exchange for that membership. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to check out the Patreon link in the description section of this video. Left wing in the 1990s. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Left wing in the 2020s. Fuck you, do what they tell you. Who's they? That's what I want to know. I mean, this all just boils down to, like, COVID, right? They're still salty about COVID. They're still salty about the time that it was, like, strongly suggested, because that's all it ever was, that they wear masks in public. Like, they didn't like having to actually take precautions in a fucking pandemic because a lot of them thought like the blood of the lamb is going to protect them or some horse shit. And even though like no one's doing the mask up thing anymore, even though like all of the social distancing stuff is pretty much just fallen by the wayside, even though COVID has not gone anywhere, even though all that's kind of pretty much over and done with, they're still just like, wear a mask, can't go to church. Still complaining about it. Like, here are some precautions to save your life. Fuck you, man. Viruses don't exist. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's basically what it boiled down to. When you actually listen to some of the fucking rhetoric that came out of the right wing, it was always sort of like, fuck you, it's not my responsibility to protect your grandma. Most of the people dying were already sick anyway. It's like, so it's okay, we're just like culling the weak? Is that what the argument is here? I mean, okay, very Herbert Spencer of you. I like it. Very, very refined. So this is a response. You guys remember, I guess Green Day, they did a show on TV. I guess it was on American Idol or something. Green Day's Billy Joe Armstrong altered the lyrics in American Idiot to sing, "I'm not part of the MAGA agenda." during a band's performance on Ryan Seacrest's New Year's Rockin' Eve, which if you're watching that anyway, like, you kind of make their point. The coof did not go anywhere, but the precautions are gone. Well, yeah, because it turned out that it was too socially deleterious to even just try to do something pragmatic in this country, because it obviously is not worth it. Even if it saves lives, it's not worth it to just destroy the fabric of society, because there is a large contingent of people that are going to throw a massive shit fit. Plus, now we have the vaccine. So, you know, if you want to take the vaccine, you can take it. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to. So, you know, whatever. If I want to be protected from COVID, I can now take that into my own hands and go do it. And if someone else wants to not do it because they think the vaccine is the devil, or it's Bill Gates putting little micro nanobots inside their bloodstream to control their brains, or whatever the hell. I always try to let these people know, like, I wouldn't really be so much worried about brain control if I were you, because you got to have one first, right? Anyway, so this lyric change in this Green Day song, completely meaningless lyric change. It's basically a synonym, right? Because the original lyrics were, maybe I am the faggot America, I'm not a part of your redneck agenda. And they just replaced redneck with MAGA, which is really just an update. I mean, it's just taking the song's meaning into the modern day. And it's honestly more precise, because there's actually some pretty based rednecks out there. You know, there's no real redneck. Like, redneck is a lifestyle, it's a personality type, and not all rednecks are right-wing. Many are. Quite a lot are. But there's left wings, there's left-wing rednecks, there's centrist rednecks, there's apolitical rednecks. They're not all right-wing. But all MAGAs are right-wing. So really, this is actually closer. I think this is actually more precise wording. It's just that we didn't have a word back then that really encapsulated it. Now there is. So honestly, I think this is a good lyric change. But anyway, so this Twitter account responds, as a punk rock girl, this turns me off. Stop bringing politics into music. To which, I mean, like, I don't know if there's a palm big enough to put your face in for that one. I mean, first of all, politics have always been a part of music. Second of all, if you want apolitical music, punk rock is pretty much the last genre you should ever fucking turn to, right? Like, what? This is PragerU meme. A meme made by PragerU. It's Mickey, Steamboat Willie. How long has Mickey been holding this back? Men can't get pregnant. I mean, they can if they're trans men. I don't know why that's so triggering. Like, a person who is born female who decides to transition to a man's social role according to the society they live in, and they choose to adopt an appearance commensurate with that role, then but they're still biologically female and they can still get pregnant. So yes, they can. I don't know. I don't know why that's so triggering, why that's so like, oh my God. And they even treat it like it's a litmus test for sanity. Like, if you really want to know if someone's crazy, ask them if a man can get pregnant. Well, no, not just any man. I can't get pregnant. You can't get pregnant, probably. But yes, trans men in some instances have gotten pregnant. And how long has Mickey been holding that one back? I don't know. Probably 6 years, something like that. We need to let children be what they want. What if they want to be right wing? Fucking laser eyes, bitch. Oh shit. Yeah, what about that though? What if they want to be right wing? Well, if they want to be right wing, then I guess you got yourself a shitty kid. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to stop them. Like, I don't have any kids. I don't want any kids. But if I did, if I had some kids and they decided to be right wing idiots, that's their choice. I mean, whatever. I mean, what am I supposed to do? You're not allowed to be right wing. They're their own person. They can be right wing if they want. I would be disappointed. I'd be disappointed that my kids were stupid, but What are you going to do? All right, here's one of these logo things. There's like 50 million logos on somebody to let you know that they're just totally, oh, wow, they got all these little symbols in their minds. Black Lives Matter, feminism, refugees welcome, OnlyFans, ACAB, trans flag, OK incel, Democrat Party sticker, lesbian sticker, resist sticker, etc. No, I am not brainwashed by the media. I wanted to do drugs, get drunk, go clubbing, and have one-night stands with random strangers since I was a baby. It wasn't imposed on me by anyone. I invented it, and this is my way of airing out after a hard week. TV shows, music has no influence on me whatsoever. Neither do other people. I don't even know what the fuck you're trying to refute here. Is the idea that, like, people doing drugs, getting drunk, going to clubs, and having sex, the idea that that is, like, some sort of, like, nefarious brainwashing that happened to us? Like, okay, but then why has that sort of shit always existed then? Right? I mean, like, I'm pretty sure people want to do drugs because drugs feel good. People want to get drunk because getting drunk feels good. I assume that for people who enjoy the club scene, it feels good to go out there and fucking dance and celebrate and shit. And sex obviously feels good. So all these things feel good. You don't really need someone to brainwash you into them. There's already a pretty strong, solid motive. If people were like, I don't know, abstaining from those things, even though they did want to do them, that would be brainwashing, right? Because then it's like, why are you denying that which gives you pleasure? It's like, well, because my God says I can't. Okay, that's brainwashing. Wanting to do the things that are fun is not brainwashing. It's called fucking fun, moron. Okay? This is stupid shit. This is, oh my God. I thought the left-wing memes were supposed to be wordy. Holy shit. All right, so this is going to explain to us every different generation. So here we go. There's Gen Alpha. I don't know much about Gen Alpha. Being raised by millennials, and they're not doing a good job, in my opinion. iPad Kid is referring to them. Even the older ones who are almost hitting their teens were essentially raised on Cocoa Melon adjacent content. I don't even know what that is. I worked in childcare 2 straight years. They are commies in the making. 95% of the kids I work with are the definition of rules for thee, but not for me. Okay. Boomers, blame for everything, some deserved, some not deserved. No, I think pretty much everything the boomers are blamed for is deserved. Had to fight in Nam, yet has continued to support worthless interventions globally. Fair. Frankly, it's the most urban boomers that deserve the shit. The rural ones are so much more chill relatively. Totally false. The rural boomers are some of the most fucking opinionated and easily triggered people on the face of the planet. You literally cannot disagree with them without them throwing a shit fit. Still exerting more influence than millennials. Totally true. Right Gen Z. Not explicitly lib-right yet. From what I have seen, more right-wing than its preceding and succeeding generations. Very schizo. Is that an endorsement? Very individualistic generation, but sufficiently screwed by the threat of economic collapse plus climate change. Fair. Will die by the millions once World War III hits. Just in general, majorly screwed. I think it's the last gen to get a decent childhood. I don't know about that. We'll see. Left millennials, which is what I am, by the way. So let's see how many of these fit. Those in this generation who are not parents are legit this exact Wojak. I mean, no. I wish I was as skinny as that Wojak, dude. I don't know why. Why would I hold my game controller like this? What does that do? It's like, okay, I have one here, I guess. Some. I gotta. Yeah. And it's like, he's holding it slightly behind his head. What do I? Yeah. The fuck even is this meme? I don't know, dude. This is a weird one. Those who are parents are some of the worst I've ever met. Okay. I mean, I believe it. Got scapegoated by the older generations. Lots of it unwarranted. But as of 2024, I can see where the boomers are coming from. Was promised the new millennium was theirs. Almost all political power is going to skip them and go straight to Gen Z. Damn. Really, you think Gen Z is just going to take it from us? It's time to kill Gen Z, you guys. All right, and then in the middle here, I guess the centrists are Gen X. And they're the only one. This person must be from Gen X, because this is the only one that's portrayed positively here. Low-key, the only generation that seems like they've had a good time. They fought one of the most lopsided wars in history. See Wojak. The least politically idiotic generation. Horny side is coming out here, but had the hottest actors and actresses. I don't know about that either. This is a blog in meme format. I don't even know if it's all that much of a meme format. It's kind of the weirdest meme I've ever seen. After riots and protests, the woke have spoken and got their way. In 2024, the minimum wage will increase to $20 an hour. And for some reason, they're all a bunch of like 1960s hippies. McDonald's announced today the Big Mac sandwiches now cost $18, large fries $9, large Coke $6.99. Kroger also announced milk will now be $9 a gallon and eggs $12 a dozen. And we've already seen prices going up. And it hasn't been because of any raise in wages. It's been because the companies that own, like the stores and the manufacturers and the distributors, have all just jacked up their prices solely to make more profit. They've actually cut a lot of expenses and jacked up their prices just to make more profit. So, I mean, this idea that like, oh man, it's really like, we've already seen this inflation, and it hasn't been because people are getting so much more fucking money. Not only that, there's plenty of, I mean, this is like, I hate that right wingers are always willing to just ignore actual precedent. Like, we can look at countries that have a higher minimum wage and see, like, did it do this? And it didn't. We can look at countries that they don't have the same wage things as us, but they have like trade unions where everybody's part of a union and everyone's salary is negotiated by that union and people make way more money. And prices are not fucking sky high on fucking consumer goods there either. At least not any more than they are here. In fact, in some of these countries with much higher wages, the cost of fucking food is less. So how did that happen if this is the big driver of it? I mean, this meme just totally ignores reality. This guy's comics are always good for I was going to say for a laugh, but no, that's actually not accurate. Fascist! Anti-Semite! And she's pointing her finger at the MAGA guy. Like it's all, he's an anti-Semite and stuff. And then she looks at her own crowd and she sees free Palestine, death to Israel, Hitler was right. And then there's like a hammer and sickle and I mean, like, you guys realize that the hammer and sickle folk fought the Nazis, right? You guys realize that the USSR, probably we wouldn't have won World War II without them, right? I mean, that's like, I don't know, we can't look at an alternate history, obviously, but it's a pretty strong chance that the tide of that war was turned more by the USSR than it was by the United States of America. Free Palestine, there's nothing about free Palestine that makes you anti-Semitic. Death to Israel, sure, I guess that's a little anti-Semitic. Hitler was right. That is obviously anti-Semitic. And this guy just has his MAGA hat and his shirt says, I like America. And he's like, what now, bitch? The resolution's kind of shit, but whatever. Hey, pretty girl, can I get a taste of that candy? Depends. You got any allergies? Because I come with nuts. And he thinks about that for a second, and then BAM! Take that, trans person. That'll teach you to exist and make me horny. I love this shit, too, because half the time transphobes are like, we can always tell the difference. We can always tell. But then the other half the time, they're terrified that they're accidentally going to sleep with a trans person. What if I end up being attracted to a what if it happens to me? I thought you could always tell, bro. What the fuck? I also just love the normalization of just like, this is acceptable. You don't like trans people? Just punch them. Just assault them physically for no reason. Because you have confused feelings in your pee-pee. Like, oh my God. Fuck you, people. All right, here's one of these teacher memes. You got, I don't even know, like, the depictions they have of, like, SJW liberal type motherfuckers is always so fucking funny to me. Because, like, where do they even get this shit? Where do you even fucking see this, bro? So, they've got gauges, they got a nose ring, they got feminine makeup, but they have a 5 o'clock shadow. They got little tufts of, brightly colored hair, but a bald head otherwise. and a t-shirt that just says Minnesota Education. There's a Free Palestine flag. I guess they hate fucking the idea that Palestine shouldn't be just destroyed by Israel. They got an anti-Israel thing underneath it. They got a Biden 2024 sticker. They got a gay pride flag. They got there's a little block that just says BLM. And it says reading/essay assignments. Cops are racist. Transgender rights in sports. Whites are oppressors. Why USA sucks. Due Friday. 2 + 2 = 3. And then the student is like, but shouldn't you teach us how to read and write first? Well, if you don't know how to read and write, how are you reading the fucking whiteboard then, bitch? Also, you look a little bit old to be learning reading and writing. Like, also a little old for 2 + 2. So I don't know. Why is this a high school class when they seem to be learning very remedial? Like, I mean, maybe the education slipped more than I thought. This one's kind of an older one. I think I even might have talked about it before, but I saw it again and it just amused me all over. And this is Pete Buttigieg, which I'm glad that he is labeled, because otherwise I never would have fucking figured that out in a million years. Like, he looks like a Dr. Seuss nightmare. I don't even know how to describe what the face that he's given here is. Let's concentrate on diversity, inclusion, and equity, he says, as he uses his Secretary of Transportation broom to sweep disasters under the rug of an LGBT flag, right? But that's not what any of you are noticing, right? You guys are noticing the exact same thing I am. Why the fuck did Ben Garrison make the decision to give Pete Buttigieg like the biggest fucking dumpy in existence? Why? Why is he fucking, why does Pete Buttigieg have a Kim Kardashian ass? His ass is bigger than any other part of his body. His ass is bigger than the rest of his torso. He's all ass. Like, Ben Garrison, is there something you want to fucking tell us about, man? Is Ben Garrison like, well, he's gay, so there's a 50-50 chance he gets fucked in the butt, so better give him a nice butt. You know, because if he gets fucked in that thing, and I want people to think about that, you know? Yeah, no, that's the thing, is like the real Pete Buttigieg, as far as I know, I feel like I would have noticed if Pete Buttigieg was sporting a fucking gigantic ass. Like, if his, like, I would have seen that. I would have noticed that. I'd have been watching one of those fucking boring ass debates like, oh, he's fucking, whoa, what the fuck? Like, yeah, you'd notice something like that, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say myth busted. Because, no. Ba-blump. Blah-blah. Ba-bump. Blah-blah. Ba-bump. Blah-blah. So, no. Nope. One would hope, one would think, one would dream, but no.